It's about that time of day again. Welcome back to your nightly newsletter, boys and girls. Joseph James here. It's Tuesday evening, June 30th, 2015, last day of the quarter, last day of the month. Remember, we got a shortened week here this week. Friday's a holiday. Thursday's pretty much a half day. That means tomorrow's the last full day of this week. We better get ready for the action tomorrow. We got range-bound markets. We filled pretty much all the gaps from earlier this week before I jump into tonight's newsletter. And boy, do we have a doozy in store for you guys and gals. A doozy. It's got to be good if it's a doozy, right? Before we jump into today's charts, though, I do want to remind you everything I'm going to talk about tonight in the nightly newsletter video, I teach it to all of our students here at schooloftrade.com. Check out schooloftrade.com. Check out our free trial. I'll talk more about the free trial at the end of this video. Also, I want to make sure to remind you guys and gals, make sure you're watching this video on our trading blog at sidewaysmarkets.com. In addition to all the other plethora of trading information on this blog for you, there are 3 reasons why I think it's in your best interest to watch this video on our blog, especially if you're on our YouTube page right now. There's a link in the description of the video, take you over here to the blog page. First of all, you can download all the charts that I'm going to use tonight in the video. Download all the charts right below the video. That way you can have those ready when you guys are trading either with me or on your own or with anybody else tomorrow. Grab those charts right below the video. Second thing here, I got a free pass for you to come out in the $10 live trade room as a guest. You don't need to be a member yet at School of Trade. I would love to send you a free pass. Grab it in the upper left-hand corner. Come be a member for a day in our trade room. And how about our nightly newsletter mailing list? I would love to send you an email every evening when our newsletter is ready to be viewed for that evening. Now you never have to worry about missing another newsletter. I'm gonna send you an email every evening just before 8 p.m. when that newsletter goes live. As you can see, very important. Download today's charts, grab your free pass, register for the mailing list. And guys, if you grab the free pass or if you register for the mailing list, I'm going to send you a verification email. So make sure you check your inbox and don't forget your spam and your junk folders just in case we haven't done business before. Let's get started. Jumping in here with the euro, the soap opera continues. No real surprise here on the euro. The euro's range bound, sideways. I mean, this is sideways here. Even the darn gap down went right back into this sideways range. Remarkable. I mean, this is, when you look at the big picture of trading opportunities, trending markets, range-bound markets, consolidating markets, these really are the easiest markets to trade. I realize they're not as fun, they're not as sexy. You know, you're not going to hear me talking about huge moves, right? At least not usually in these range-bound markets, but boy, are they easy. Look for failures at the highs and the lows, and if you watched last night's newsletter, I talked about it last night. It's exactly what happened today, right? Sell those highs, back into the lows, buy those lows, back to the highs, sell those highs, back to the lows, and well, here we go. Up and down, up and down. So you got to remember, you can't trust any of these breakouts. You can't trust any of them. All right. The way that I always tell my students is you're going to get rich in the time it takes you to find one that fails. So yeah, there might be one breakout that fails, but the vast majority of them, there might be one breakout that is successful, but the vast majority of them are going to fail. So it's always going to be in your best interest, your best financial interest. Put it this way, if you like the money in your trade account, be very, very careful trading breakouts, right? Most of the time they fail. Now, what we're going to continue doing is looking for failures, right? That's the key, guys. That's the key. So one of the main themes of tonight's newsletter, and it's not just tonight, it was last night too, is, you know, whether we see a consolidating market where prices are getting narrower, or we're seeing just a straight range-bound market where prices are just kind of, you know, playing tennis back and forth there, ping pong, table tennis, whatever you might want to call it, right, back and forth like that. The bottom line is, let's just say we have a sideways range here. As we're going into it, look for failure patterns, right? So as the price goes up, buyers are trying to buy the breakout. What's going to happen? Well, when they buy the breakout, they're either going to buy it right away, which is not a very good idea, or they're going to buy the pullback. And when they try to buy that pullback, I'm looking to sell into that, right, into where their stop losses are going to be and literally take this sucker right back down into the range. Go down to the opposite side now. Can you guess what I'm going to do there? Same thing, right? Wait for the sellers to try to sell the breakout and then buy directly into their stop losses, right? So that's what I'm talking about when I say a failure pattern. I'm looking for the buyers to fail at the highs and the sellers to fail at the lows. Remember, we do this every day, all day in our trade room and our chat room. So if I'm speaking Greek right now, that was a pun intended. But if you don't follow what I'm saying, don't forget, you don't have to do this on your own. Come out and join me tomorrow in the trade room. We'll talk about what I mean by a buyer failure and a seller failure. Right now, really, the only thing you got to really be worried about right now in the euro is just don't overtrade it. Don't force anything in that middle, right? In that middle, around 1200, stay the heck away from that. I'm looking to buy these lows. I'm looking to sell these highs. And so, in all reality, the wider this thing can break out, the better, right? I mean, if we're able to see for whatever reason, let's say tomorrow morning we wake up in the U.S. and it's already up to these highs, perfect. That means there's more opportunity to sell it back down in. So be very, very suspicious of every breakout right now in the euro. We're not going to hear, from what we were told today, we're not going to hear anything new besides just speculation. We'll probably hear from Donald Trump a few more times next couple of days, right? I'll leave that to myself, though, right? I really do enjoy some political incorrectness every once in a while. I'll leave my opinions to myself, but it is a breath of fresh air. I'll leave it at that. I'm not sure if I agree with the strategy here, but bottom line is, though, we know that right now, though, we were told today, Merkel out of Germany confirmed it. Draghi confirmed. We're not going to hear anything until this referendum on Sunday from Greece. So there's literally no fundamentals right now except for the non-farms on Thursday that could possibly get this thing going. But I'm telling you right now, stick to this trading range, right? Fake out breakouts. Stick to that trading range on the euro. How about some crude? This is relatively easy today, right? I mean, it really was. Did we really think that crude was going to extend at the lows of this range? No. In fact, the best trade of the day today was the buy off those lows. If you recall from last night's newsletter, my exact words were, if we do make that next push down, you want to be a buyer on that right back up. Now we have a little bit of a challenge. We're not at the lows, and we're not at the highs. We've got news tomorrow. Okay, we had news tonight. First build in 4 weeks on the API number. Remember, Tuesday evening at 4:30 is the API number, right? American Petroleum Institute. Then with tomorrow, we have tomorrow's DOE, the Department of Energy. Okay, don't worry about that. Don't worry, right? These are government agencies here. They're less than accurate, so we don't really care too much about what the news is telling us. We do know that the news, though, will have a little bit of analysis paralysis. Bottom line is these numbers have been very much irrelevant for the past few months, and we don't expect anything else, anything different tomorrow. So we did get that one more leg down today on crude. That put us right into that low of that range, and then easy buying opportunities. So again, we're bearish here, but we're coming off the lows. So like I said yesterday, we had to be ready for buying opportunities on crude oil today. Nothing but a straight bullish market today on crude. So we're definitely bullish as we push off the lows of the range. Buyers, you guys are looking for sellers to try and fail at these short-term resistance areas overhead, because remember what happens. Rotation, right? Rotation. So we go up to the highs, we rotate down to the lows, up to the highs, back to the lows, etc., etc. So we expect to see this market try to rotate. Sellers have, in my opinion, a very difficult job right now. Let's talk about a few scenarios here for tomorrow. First things first, we know we're inside of this price wedge, right? Get the price wedge. We're coming off the lows. There's no surprise here we bounced off these lows. It was exactly what we said last night. It was, unless something crazy happened, it was almost a guarantee. There'll be profit taking at these lows. There'll be bargain hunters at these lows. So that was pretty easy. So we're expecting now, coming off these lows here, we're expecting for this price to try to rotate back to its highs. So as it tries to rotate back to its highs, how do you play that? I mean, look at this. We're in a bearish environment right now, right? Okay, how do you play that? Well, first of all, you treat every opportunity to buy as a scalp until proven otherwise. That means quick target, tight stop, lock up a quick profit, remove the risk, and hold it to the top, right? That's number one. We're in a bearish environment right now, but we are long-term, right? We are long-term range bound here. So we know there's going to be more emphasis to the downside. So if you're looking to be buying, it's got to be a scalp first, right? And then, of course, if you can catch a runner, great. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for failures. That means I'm looking for sellers to try and sell these resistance areas so I can look for 2 attempts to the downside and then buy into those stop losses. It's a little bit of, it's kind of the same thing we talked about on the euro, right, on the last chart. And that is this time, though, we're actually expecting the break of those highs, right? We're expecting it to break. So as we're going higher, buyers, just simply wait for those sellers, just like we saw today, try to sell. I always think the easiest money is going to be waiting for those sellers to try once, they try twice, and when they give up, the price is going to jump because they're going to bail on those trades. So that's what you're doing at resistance levels on the way higher here. So as we go higher, looking for sellers try twice, and then you're buying right into those stop losses, right, as those sellers just bail on it and price tries to make it up to it. What if you are a seller right now? If you're a seller right now, okay, so we got you bulls taken care of. Bulls are looking for what? Seller failure at resistance. And where's your target on the bulls? If you're a buyer right now, your target is that 61 area all the way back up at the highs. Okay? What if you're a bear? Now, if you're a bear right now, like I said, bears, we have the long-term control, but really the easy money is going to be up around these highs, right? So the easier money is going to be after we do make that move, then we can sell this thing back down. Now, for all my students out there here at School of Trade, we know that when we see a channel, this is a relatively well-behaved channel. It's a handsome channel, right? Pretty good-looking channel there. What do we know about when a channel is broken? They're going to try to retest that low, right? We call them the late adopters, right? These are the late adopters of the trend. So sellers, in my opinion, we have a very small window to get it back down to retest that low. This is also a very big clue here for you buyers out there. So what I'll be looking for is I'm going to be looking for these sellers try once, try twice. But if they can't get it done, that second push down, it's almost a given it's going to shoot. If not just a 60, remember, this is crude we're talking about. This thing can do $3.5, no sweat. So here we are at 59, 60, 61, 62. It'd be easy for us to see that failure from the sellers and then whoops, right back up. Not that I care about the news, but over the past 4 weeks, we've seen a negative number for the API and price went down. I know, I told you, don't try to make sense of it, right? This is government stuff we're talking about. The only thing that makes sense about government aspect, right, is that it doesn't make sense. That is what makes sense, is it doesn't make sense. So the fact of the matter is, maybe this positive number now, again, I'm half playing around with you right now, mocking the fact that these numbers have absolutely they have no rhyme or reason. They have no real impact on tomorrow's price action. But hey, if history repeats itself, all the previous API numbers have reacted backwards. This, who knows, maybe we'll see the same thing for tomorrow. That would, again, result in this price going higher. Honestly, my gut tells me we go higher into tomorrow's session just because we saw a very bullish market today. Not that big of a deal, but I'm expecting, though, this thing to try to go lower and continue this move up to that high of that channel. Just because nobody really has any strength right now. There's really nothing else going on. It's summertime. Everyone's working on their tan. And, of course, we've got price rotating from low back to high. You get an overshoot of that channel low. It's going to try to overcorrect. So, you know, my money is on the bull side right now, but I need to see proof. I got to see proof. Honestly, sellers, I think you guys have the hardest job right now because really all you have as a bear right now is that short-term move back down to that low. Then where do you go from there, right? Then the buyers, we got to step back in and buy that low again. So sellers, you get a very small window of opportunity. I'm going to be looking here for, there's your first try, second try, and then second try failure, right back up. Again, if we can get into some buying opportunities down here, you get some nice juicy targets waiting for you overhead. If it does just go higher, then wait for the sellers to try and fail. Sellers try and fail, and the targets back up at these highs. Whatever you do tomorrow, do not sell into this low. Okay? I don't care what you're hearing in the news feed. I don't care. Do not sell that low. Do not make it a habit of selling at the lows or buying at the highs. Again, I think bulls, I think you guys have it for tomorrow. I'm going to wait for proof. If you want to come out and trade with me tomorrow morning, you know where to find me, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Open the trade them up, and we'll be trading crude oil on a Wednesday inventory day. Also, don't forget, please, I should have mentioned that earlier here, tomorrow is inventory day on crude oil. So remember, 10:30 a.m. news tomorrow. We're sitting on hands between 10:15 and 10:45. Okay, that's the rough guideline. I don't trade crude on Wednesdays after 10:15. Sometimes it's 10 o'clock. Sometimes it's that slow ahead of that inventory number. And then you got to give it some time after that news comes out tomorrow, 10:30. My kind of guideline is 10:15 to 10:45. The 10:45 aspect, it is a little bit negotiable, right, based on price action. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, come out and see me tomorrow, and I'll walk you right through it in real time. How about that S&P? If you missed that sell, there was a sell zone here on last night's newsletter. It was tested twice, so I removed it. But boy, if you missed that short off the highs, you missed the real easy money selling that resistance. Target back at the low. I'll tell you, the S&P is the best market we've seen right now. Really, it's the only one that's giving you the best movement right now. You're getting bigger ranges in the ES than you are in the CL and the GC. What is it? Must be summertime. It must be summertime. So we know we get a bearish trend right now in the S&P. No surprise there. This is almost the same chart that we had last night on the newsletter, except last night we were right here, and my exact words were sell here, take your profit back here, right? Bear trap there. Don't sell that. Don't sell that. If you followed last night's newsletter, you did well with it today. S&P's bearish. We're clearly trading sideways. Remember, every trading range has a directional bias to it. We're going lower right now into that sideways range. That means we're looking for bull traps, and we're looking for breakout pullbacks. I wouldn't be too confident with breakout pullbacks right now, but I would definitely be keeping an eye out for those breakout traps, right? Breakout, trap, breakout, trap. You've got some range expansion resistance. Would love to sell this 2080 area up here, give or take a few ticks or two, but that's definitely the plan right now. The best trades are going to come after price goes up and gives us a shot here to sell those resistance areas overhead. Directional bias is definitely bearish. The plan is to look for bull traps at the range highs and sell those suckers down to the range lows. Buyers, you guys can focus on buying the lows, but remember, if you're going to be a buyer in a bearish trend like this, every trade must be considered a scalp until proven otherwise. That means tighten up that stop quick first target, lock out the risk, and hold on for a bigger reward. Really, the best buying opportunity is going to be if we just shoot down to that range expansion support. That's really where you're going to get the best buying opportunity. Be very careful trying to nibble on these lows here, right? We got a good one right there today, but again, be careful trying to nibble at these lows because it's more likely to go a little bit, keep going, and then give you the big fake and come back in. So buyers, if you see this market down into this range expansion support here, 37.28 measured move area, that's going to be your best opportunity to buy because it will be nice and oversold there. Right now, those sellers, you guys have clear control. Keep selling those range highs, keep selling those breakouts, keep fading those moves above those range highs, and you'll be all good here going into Wednesday's trading session. And then last but not least here, wrapping up here on the GC, the funny yellow metal, the gold futures. Again, continue here to see this bearish movement. Gold is bearish, range bound as it grinds down to retest the range lows. Boy, I feel like we've been watching this for months, trying to retest those range lows right now on gold. 62.7 is that range low. It literally has been almost a month. Beginning of June when we were there, We've been waiting for those sellers to keep getting it back down. We told you guys, keep selling those retracements. Range-bound market right now. Range-bound market. Price going sideways here right now. Just be aware, do not sell these lows. Do not sell these lows. Buyers, if you want to buy the lows right now, like I said back on the S&P, if you're a bull here in a bearish market, you can take a quick little profit target, tighten up that stop, and try to hold on for a bigger runner. But sellers, you guys have the control right now on the gold. Really, really looking forward to getting a chance to sell these range highs overhead. But basically, as this price goes up, selling it back down. As the price goes up, selling it back down here on the gold. And again, we got targets waiting for you guys here on that funny yellow metal. Guys, tomorrow's the last full day, in my opinion, of trading this week. It's going to be the last full day this week, so we got to get our money out of the market tomorrow. Stay patient. It is going to be a summertime day, which means there are going to be times of slow volume, especially as the morning progresses. This week, as we've said pretty much all last week and the beginning of this week already, it's get at it early, make the money early, and get out of there early because, again, summertime trading, holiday weekend coming up. And let's not forget, Thursday, we have non-farm payrolls on Thursday. Tomorrow will be my last day of the newsletter this week. Then we'll wrap it up with our students here at School of Trade on Thursday in our trade room. Holiday shortened week, summer week, get to it early, get out of it early, take that money and run, lock up a good profit, come back and do it again tomorrow, and we'll keep washing and repeating over and over again. We get a lot of bearish movement right now here. Bearish on the gold, bearish on the bullish on crude, bearish on the ES, and completely range bound on the euro right now. That'll do it for me here tonight on the newsletter. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. Don't forget to share this with a friend. And if you have some free time out there, or if you'd like to learn more about what it means to be a student here at School of Trade, remember, guys, we're not here gambling. We're not here for a hobby. We're here helping new students launch careers in the financial markets. We do it the right way. At least I like to think about we do it the professional way here at School of Trade. I'd love to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Grab the free trial on our homepage at schooloftrade.com. And if you need more information about beginner, intermediate, or advanced levels of membership, I've got someone standing by here 24/7, 365, ready to help you guys and gals out. Boy, oh boy, this week's going to fly by here, guys. Time is of the essence right now. Get it early tomorrow. And don't forget, you get your plans ready for the holiday weekend coming up. I got to do some thinking about where I'm going to watch the fireworks here in Los Angeles, here in South Bay. It's going to be a great holiday weekend coming up. Hope you guys are enjoying this beautiful summertime weather. Hope you're having a great day out there. My name is Joseph. Don't forget, leave me a comment below the video. Let me know how I'm doing out there. Send me your feedback. I'm JJ at School of Trade. You guys be well out there. Be nice to each other. I'll see you in the morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. We open up our trade room, and 8 p.m. we'll see you back here for our last newsletter of the week tomorrow evening. Thanks for being here, guys and gals. Adios, amigos. Bye for now.